A nor'easter hit Massachusetts Sunday afternoon, bringing heavy rain to most of the state and high winds and flooding to the coastline, according to the National Weather Service. Weather conditions are expected to deteriorate Sunday night into Monday, according to the Weather Service. Massachusetts residents can expect strong northeast winds, windswept rain, and minor coastal flooding before showers cease on Tuesday. A high wind advisory remains in effect for the Cape and Islands until 8 p.m. Monday. During this time, northeast winds of 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts up to 50 miles per hour are expected, according to the Weather Service. While the nor'easter continues, damaging winds may blow down trees and power lines on the Cape and Islands, and power outages are possible. Travel may be difficult, especially for tall vehicles, according to the Weather Service. Cape and Islands residents are advised to stay in the lower levels of their home and avoid being near windows while high winds persist. The rain from the nor'easter is expected to continue coming down across Massachusetts through Monday night, according to the Weather Service. It is predicted to end first in western Massachusetts sometime between Tuesday morning and early afternoon, while eastern and central Massachusetts are expected to keep experiencing showers through 9 p.m. that day. Highs across the state on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday are predicted to reach the upper 50s and low 60s, according to the Weather Service. Overnight lows on these days are expected to dip into the low 50s and upper 40s.
Look at this firehouse.
Massachusetts is predicted to see mostly or partly sunny skies on Wednesday amid highs in the low 60s, according to the Weather Service. After Tuesday evening, all but the Cape and Islands can expect dry weather amid highs in the mid-50s to low 60s for the rest of the week. While the peculiar holiday weekend nor'easter spared the Jersey Shore catastrophic flooding, it was the latest episode in a 2-month assault on fragile beaches in their 100-year battle with the Atlantic Ocean.
A little higher. This is crazy.
The immediate Philadelphia area got by with modest rains and some wind, but the beaches endured 48 hours of onshore winds that gusted past 60 miles per hour. It was the 5th spell since August 18th of consecutive days with winds from east and northeast, including a 6-day stretch that began September 27th.
Look at that right there. Well, first of all, you can hear the wind.
There hasn't been much time for natural recovery of the beaches at this point, said Kimberly McKenna, interim chief of the Stockton University Coastal Research Center, which will be assisting in beach surveys. Officials in Ocean City and North Wildwood reported significant erosion from the storm that threw a few curves at the meteorologists. It is unclear how that erosion may exacerbate flooding in future storms. However, in this round, no significant injuries or structural damages were reported, despite the gusts and multiple flood tides that inundated roadways. That said, it will take some time to assess the damages, said Ocean City spokesperson Doug Bergen. In Wildwood, emergency official Daniel Dunn said, "Overall, we are fortunate that we did not get the major flooding that was projected with the storm." And Michael Famularo, acting head of emergency management in Atlantic City, echoed, "The flooding has been less than expected." Still, Bergen said his Cape May County town was expecting substantial erosion across all of its beaches. In addition to storms, areas of high pressure or heavier air to the north of the region, which usually bring dry conditions, have contributed to the onshore flows, said Patrick O'Hara, meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Mount Holly. Winds circulate clockwise around the centers of highs so that areas to the south of the center experience winds from the east. Also, when they interact with areas of the low pressure or lighter air of storms, winds intensify. That interplay was in evidence in August with Hurricane Erin, which stayed hundreds of miles offshore but still generated damaging winds and storm waves. According to a New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection survey, more than 85% of the state's beaches endured minor to moderate erosion from Erin. Among those in the moderate category were the sands of Avalon, Ocean City, Strathmere, and North Wildwood. Replenishing beaches at the Jersey Shore with federal and state money is a long-standing and controversial practice. Its critics hold that taxpayers are subsidizing protection of vacation properties. Town officials counter that it's an economic imperative. New Jersey beaches have been beneficiaries of more than $733 million in federal beach protection projects this century, according to data from Howard Marlowe, one of the nation's most prominent coastal lobbyists. That's a close second to Florida, which has 10 times the coastline.
Situation in North Wildwood at 4th
However,
Avenue,
this fiscal year will mark the first time since at least 2001. Despite anxieties about rising seas in a warming climate and $80 billion worth of real estate on the barrier islands in Jersey alone, that no money has been appropriated for shore projects, he said.
2 o'clock.
Concerns over the future of Jersey beaches are not new. The erosions are still in progress, and unless checked will result in further loss of physical property. So concluded a team of Garden State experts in a landmark analysis in 1922. Come Tuesday, the atmosphere will begin shedding the Monday blues, and the rest of the week should be about as good as October gets all over the region. Highs should be in the low and mid-60s, a few shades below normal, with wall-to-wall sun through Sunday, forecasters say.
decent sign.
For that matter, save for the Monday rain and a gloomy weekend, the weather in Philadelphia was a day at the beach compared to the shore. Not that the forecasts were complete busts. Late last week, they called for winds up to 60 miles per hour at the shore and 40 miles per hour west of the Delaware River. That worked out fairly well, as a 46 miles per hour gust was recorded at Philadelphia International Airport and 62 miles per hour near the shore. Atlantic City Electric reported more than 12,000 power outages. For that matter, save for the Monday rain and a gloomy weekend, the weather in Philadelphia was a day at the beach compared to the shore. Not that the forecasts were complete busts. Late last week, they called for winds up to 60 miles per hour at the shore and 40 miles per hour west of the Delaware River. That worked out fairly well, as a 46 miles per hour gust was recorded at Philadelphia International Airport and 62 miles per hour near the shore. Atlantic City Electric reported more than 12,000 power outages. It was a development unforeseen by computer models until the weekend. Don't be surprised if something similar happens again soon. The nor'easter season has just begun. Coastal flooding and wind-whipped rain hit the mid-Atlantic and northeast coastline Monday as an impactful nor'easter crawled up the east coast for the third consecutive day before starting to slowly subside overnight. At least 3 deaths have been reported over the last several days as rain and wind impact the northeast. The storm has already disrupted air travel at major northeast airports, triggered serious flooding in South Carolina, and pushed the ocean onto roads along the mid-Atlantic coast at Monday afternoon's high tide. This coastal storm is called a nor'easter because winds blowing from the northeast push water toward the coast, causing it to erode beaches, pile up water, and cause flooding. At least 3 deaths have been reported in the Northeast due to high winds. On Sunday, a 76-year-old woman was killed in Brooklyn after being hit by a solar panel that had disconnected from a carport structure and blown off the roof, New York City officials said. A small plane crashed in Massachusetts Monday, killing 2 people and wounding another, as rain and high winds hit the area, the Associated Press reported. Water levels Monday afternoon reached moderate flood stage, the second most severe level, along significant portions of the New Jersey and New York coastlines.
New Jersey Avenue.
Widespread roadway flooding and closed roads, damage to structures, and evacuations are possible, the National Weather Service warned earlier in the day. Parts of coastal Virginia hit major flood stage Sunday afternoon, and dozens of other locales in the mid-Atlantic experienced moderate flooding. Rainfall and gusty winds are causing more delays and cancellations at Northeast airports. More than 30% of the hundreds of cancellations of flights in or out of the U.S. on Monday involved airports in the region, according to FlightAware. Over 7,000 flights were delayed nationwide, the site showed. The storm caused long delays and ground delays at times Sunday at Boston Logan, New York's John F. Kennedy, Washington, D.C.'s Reagan National, Newark Liberty, and Philadelphia airports, according to the Federal Aviation Administration. Thousands of flights across the U.S. were also delayed Sunday. Authorities in Georgetown, South Carolina, rescued several motorists trapped Sunday morning by floodwaters after nearly 10 inches of rain fell there in 24 hours Saturday into Sunday. Georgetown County Emergency Services Director Brandon Ellis told local media. No one was injured. Numerous people in Columbus County, North Carolina, were also rescued from vehicles stalled across flooded roadways, according to local officials. Wind gusts over 50 miles per hour have been observed in North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, and New York. Around 40,000 customers across the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast were without power Monday afternoon. According to Power Outage US, gusty winds are starting to ease overnight and into Tuesday. More than a dozen river gauge locations along the East Coast reached moderate flood stage during Monday afternoon's high tide. A majority of these measurements were along the New Jersey coast, where a state of emergency is in effect. Water levels did not rise as high as initially feared in Atlantic City, New Jersey, but the area did peak just shy of moderate flood stage Monday afternoon, ushering in another round of flooding. Water levels climbed into minor flood stage there on Sunday afternoon and shut down Route 40 and Route 30 in both directions in and out of the city. Portions of both roads were closed again Monday afternoon. Barnegat Bay along the Jersey Shore surged into moderate flood stage Monday afternoon and hit a level it hasn't reached in more than a decade. Delaware and New York were also experiencing coastal flooding. A voluntary evacuation is in effect in Bowers Beach, Delaware. The Delaware National Guard has been activated to help with any storm-related issues in the state, the state's Department of Emergency Management announced in a news release Sunday. New York Governor Kathy Hochul on Sunday night declared a state of emergency in 8 counties across the southern part of the state as a coastal flood warning was in effect in Long Island, New York City, and southern Westchester County through 8 p.m. Monday. The potent storm caused coastal flooding in the southeast over the weekend. Portions of North Carolina Highway 12 were closed Sunday due to ocean overwash. The Department of Transportation warned drivers that travel is dangerous in the Outer Banks. Ongoing beach erosion in the Outer Banks will add to concerns there. At least 9 unoccupied homes have collapsed into the Atlantic since September 30th due to intense wave action and erosion from recent storms. Charleston Harbor in South Carolina reached major flood stage Saturday afternoon and Friday morning, flooding streets there. Strong winds gusting up to 45 miles per hour will continue to lash the coast as the storm crawls north through Monday. Some of the strongest gusts through Monday afternoon are expected from New Jersey into southern New England. These wind gusts are as strong as what a tropical storm produces, despite this storm not being classified as one. Winds started to subside Monday night, with wind advisories dwindling as the storm pulls away from the coast. Some coastal flood warnings and advisories remain in place overnight. Some of the storm's heaviest rain has already soaked the Carolinas, but the Northeast saw plenty more throughout the day Monday. The nor'easter will finally pull away from the coast Tuesday. High pressure will build in behind the storm, resulting in dry weather and decreasing winds. As of 7:50 p.m., PSEG Long Island reported 2,052 customers were still without power. Orange and Rockland County reported just 204 customers were still out, after more than 4,000 were Monday morning. Jersey Central Power and Light had 1,523 customers out. PSE&G New Jersey had 250 out, down from over 2,300. New York City's Office of Emergency Management said more than 100 trees have fallen citywide, and the Department of Buildings said a woman in Brooklyn was killed when the wind ripped a solar panel off the roof of a carport. The storm also forced the cancellation of the city's annual Columbus Day parade in Manhattan, a more than 80-year-old tradition.
Still windy.
As for mass transit, subways have not been impacted, but the Long Island Railroad and Metro-North experienced some disruptions early Monday, and NJ Transit suspended its North Jersey coast and Atlantic City lines. Tri-state area airports are also reporting hundreds of delays.
It is 11th Street by Bay Ave. It is 3 o'clock.